So let's talk Bitcoin Cash. And if this is the first time you're kind of researching this and looking at this, August 1st, a potential Bitcoin hard fork is happening. I won't go too much over the fork and that kind of thing. I've got another video for that you can check out on my channel if you want some more information on it. But in this video, I want to talk about Bitcoin Cash, what it's about, and what's happening. So basically, the biggest difference between Bitcoin, the original Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash is the upgrade or the differentiating upgrade of what they want to do is change the block size from 1 megabyte to 8 megabytes. And what that really does is it allows more transactions into the particular block so they can facilitate more transactions quicker. And the other reason is they're obviously not happy with SegWit or SegWit 2, so they want to invoke something different, a change which they may see as better and more fitting for the times and the future. So basically, in simple terms, Bitcoin Cash is really just trying to come up with a way that they can fit more transactions into the block, which they ultimately believe that will be more beneficial to the cryptocurrency and see it having a brighter future, by splitting off from the original Bitcoin and becoming BCC. So they're really the main differences with the type of upgrade. Obviously, we have SegWit and BIP91, which is trying to upgrade the Bitcoin network itself, the original Bitcoin, flush out some of the bugs, help transaction capacity and transaction times and cost and efficiency by utilizing certain upgrades that will help the network in that way, but not necessarily completely changing the rules. So there's a hard fork. Remember the difference, if you've watched my video, the difference between a soft fork and a hard fork is basically a soft fork is kind of a tightening of the rules that are already in place, so kind of an upgrade of the rules that are already set. If you're going to hard fork, then that's a changing of the rules that's in place, i.e. from 1 megabyte blocks to 8 megabytes. That's a complete change of the foundation of kind of what Bitcoin is and will be. So for that reason, it will fork off. But I have some interesting thoughts about what's going on here. And obviously with a fork, a lot of people describe it in this way, and two different cryptocurrencies go in two different ways. But really what's happening here is Bitcoin is going to stay Bitcoin. It's in the original block. It's still going to be BTC. It's just going to upgrade with SegWit and fix a couple of things that are going on. Not a fix, for maybe years and years to come, but in the short term, the upgrade will have some good effects. So the way I see it is obviously Bitcoin is on this path on its original blockchain, and really instead of there is obviously a fork coming, but really what I see is Bitcoin going, and then on August 1st you're gonna have Bitcoin Cash that wants to go this way, and obviously Bitcoin is gonna keep doing its thing and it's gonna be on the original chain, and not much is gonna change in terms of if you have a Bitcoin wallet and it's supporting the original chain, your money's going to be completely fine. So when we're looking at Bitcoin Cash, what that is really wanting to do is just do something different to Bitcoin. And a fundamental thing to know and realize is an exchange called Via BTC, which is an exchange in Asia, has basically agreed to facilitate both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. They're doing something quite interesting where they're willing to do a 1-to-1 ratio, i.e., one Bitcoin can be converted into one Bitcoin Cash, which is quite interesting at this time. If people were to do that, they would have to see a very, very long and fruitful vision with Bitcoin Cash, as right now it's trading, I think, just above $400. And obviously Bitcoin is trading $2,000. So we don't really need to go over that. That's pretty simple math. So that's quite an interesting ratio that they're doing and obviously willing to do, because it's a brilliant high for them and a perfect low for them. But with this, they have signed the agreement that they're willing to present Bitcoin Cash as an alternate cryptocurrency, as an altcoin to Bitcoin, meaning that it's a competitive currency, and they're not the same thing. I think it's going to be quite confusing for people to obviously coming into the industry. If you've been seasoned in this and you're going through it, Bitcoin Cash, two different things. But firstly, Bitcoin is an awful name. Bitcoin, coin going towards something physical. And now we have Bitcoin Cash, so coin and cash. You can just tell these people are engineers and developers, because the marketing plan is absolutely awful. So when we're looking at Bitcoin Cash, will it be successful? Does it have a long shelf life? Are the people that are forking from this really thinking about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the good of the industry, the good of the people, in terms of Bitcoin is for everyone. It's a bank for everyone, and so is cryptocurrency. But Bitcoin is one of the purest forms of it because of its life, of what it's overcome, all that good stuff. So for me, thinking about Bitcoin Cash, and if the people wanting this type of fork are really in it for the good of everyone, or the good of their own pockets and what they might see as more fruitful for themselves going forward, is something interesting to think about. So for me, I'm not really concerned, about Bitcoin and where it's going, and will this affect it? I think Bitcoin is gonna keep going on its trajectory. The big question is whether Bitcoin Cash will be able to capture a certain percentage of the market, a certain percentage of Bitcoin users, and really, keep some kind of community within that particular cryptocurrency that wants to hard fork away from Bitcoin. Maybe they should have called it something else. Just having Bitcoin in the name is slightly confusing for people, but to see if that it will be fruitful for those guys will be interesting. And I'm not very very romantic in any sense about cryptocurrency, as in, oh, like this one has to win, or Litecoin has to be the next one because of what it stands for. Being romantic, I think, in this industry can be difficult, because it's so young, it's so new, it's so innovative, that 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years from now, things could look very, very different. So I think the best thing to do, and hopefully with you, watching this video, is really just keep on top of the news, keep, analyzing and just looking at the markets, seeing what's happening. And with all that being said, in terms of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, I really don't think we need to worry about Bitcoin going forward and into August. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe a soft fork, maybe a hard fork. A hard fork is looking more likely with the developments of Bitcoin Cash and the news that's coming out, but at the same time, who knows what's going to happen. So they're just some thoughts about Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, kind of what's going on. My thoughts about it, I think everything will be absolutely fine on the Bitcoin side. I think people need to really look at whether Bitcoin Cash is going to do its thing, capture a percentage of the market, and really the reason behind them doing this is the biggest thing for me, because I love cryptocurrency. Obviously, I love profiting from the market and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, this is one of the most powerful technologies that's ever come about in human history, and one of potentially the biggest transfers of wealth, because of every single person on the planet with an internet connection or with a phone or access, to a simple wallet, can be a part of the global financial system with Bitcoin, with cryptocurrency, and with blockchain technology. So just thinking about that just makes me think that people that are, shifting away from Bitcoin, creating Bitcoin Cash, are they doing it for the good of the people, the good of the industry, all that good stuff? Or are they doing it more for their own pockets? I'll let you decide. Tell me what you think below. So I'm Matt Sheriff. I hope that video gave you a little bit of insight into Bitcoin Cash and how it's differentiating itself from Bitcoin and sort of going forward with a bigger picture thinking. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Something's popping up now, and a video that you're probably interested in too. Sign up for my free newsletter below. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.